Hey everyone, welcome to our review of the Paleo Max Megazord Micro series. You've got here, well, they're considered three different Zords in the Japanese mecha. Kishamoth, T-Line, and K-Line, but they're considered the Paleozord in the Power Rangers adaptation. So, unfortunately, I won't be able to compare them with other Paleozord incarnations because I don't have those figures on me, but I will be able to walk you through each one and like how you're gonna transform them into Paleo Max Megazord. As you can see here, it's like it's forming a train, right? The Paleozord Zords are forming one train, but they don't have any actual connectors like the original. The thing I would have wanted was bigger cabs. See how much better those would look if they were a little bigger. But this is what you get, so it's fine. Anyway, I'll walk you through each one. Let's first go to the first cab of the Paleozord, also known as Kishamoth. You don't have the black line over the eyes. You also don't have the white strip here. You're also missing one wheel. And that's about it, sculpt-wise. That's all you're missing. The back part, this originally was black and was separatable, but there's still a waist portion, and we'll get to that later. The horns are non-movable, and neither is the trunk. But surprisingly, this toy pretty much is almost exactly like the original in transformation, making this probably the most complicated Zord transformation in the Micro series, particularly when talking about RPM. The thing about the Micro Megazords is that each one gets more difficult as you buy the sets. The easiest to transform was the High Octane Megazord, and then it got harder when you got Valvemax, even harder when you got Mach Megazord. But all of those you can easily figure out by just looking at the images of the robots. But this one takes a little more practice. I didn't have a deluxe Paleo Max when I got this, so I basically did not know how to transform it just by looking at it. I had to figure it out quite a bit, but we're gonna walk you through the transformation in a bit. These two, they're not exactly repaints of each other. They may look like it, but they're not. T-Line, K-Line, the second and third cabs of the Paleozord. Each one is a separate, has two separate pieces, and while they look identical, they're not. Each one is made specifically for the left or the right leg, so they're unique pieces. They're not the same exactly. For the paint job, I find it a little odd that the paint for the head and the body are different. At first it will be quite striking, but eventually you're going to not notice it at all. The thing with the heads are they're painted on with metallic paint, while the bodies have a sort of matte metallic finish to them. They're missing red paint over here and gold on those things that stick out, the spoilers. And it's also missing the red paint that's supposed to continue from the head. Also missing the black window portions. And the Tyrannosaurus section, or the T-line, is missing the yellow paint on the teeth. It's also missing black paint on the back side. Before I walk you through how to transform this into the Paleo Max Megazord, I'm going to first compare it size-wise with another one of the Zords from before. See, size-wise, the Eagle Racer would still be bigger than the lines, the T line and K line. I would have preferred bigger ones, but what are you gonna do? Anyway, they still work great when they become arms for the Ultrazord, which we'll get to in our next review about the RPM Ultrazord. Now I'm going to walk you through the transformation. I'm going to set these guys aside for a bit. Probably the first time you buy it, the Paleozord will like crumble into pieces the first time you grab it. This is what it will probably do the first time you buy it. It will come off in separate pieces right away. But the thing is, with a little practice, you'll be able to pick it up with less mess by, well, there's your whole Paleozord. First cab, simply separate the wheel section from the body. Do the same for the back, and you now have two separate pieces. There you go. Now what you're gonna do is basically separate everything. Unlike the original Paleozord, there are two more wheels here, and you fold them. They would look something like, it would look something like this. You would fold it like that, but this is all you get. But the rest of it is sort of like the original. Now that you've got all those separate parts, you're going to break this up in half, a lot like the original. And that back wheel is going to come off as well. There you go. And you have the head there. As I keep saying, for the Micro Zords, you don't have hinges most of the time. You just have pegs and peg holes. That's why you have this head thing. It doesn't swivel out of the body section as it would in the original. Simply snap this on, like so, on the T-peg hole, and you have your body. Turn it around, you'll see two peg holes there, and two pegs here. So all you have to do is put those together. Once you've got those together, you can put the head of the Mammoth on the front part. If you have the Paleo Max Megazord or the kyouretsu-Oh, you'll notice that this is more streamlined and it looks a little more humanoid. Less, it looks like less of a train when you put it like, when you build it like this, unlike the original, which is actually a good thing. Oh, something I forgot to do, not you, but I forgot to do, is to put this on. Unlike the deluxe version, you have to put this waist part, leg part, into the peg hole there, slide it in before you actually lock it. Now that you've got that, all you have to do is, like the original, slap on the arms quite easily. You spent a lot of effort transforming the body of your Paleo Max Megazord, but you won't be spending as much time on the rest of the Zord, which would be the feet. All you have to do is slide the head off and move it to another slit. Like I said, still no hinges, just pegs and peg holes or sliding slits like this. Now that you've got those, all you have to do is slide the legs onto the back part of the leg area, the upper leg area. They will not move side to side. They're hollow, but it's okay. And you've got... Now, like all Micro Megazords, this also comes with a bonus Zord, but as I mentioned before, the bonus Zords for this set don't particularly look like they were actually designed for RPM. Like, this one's got really tiny eyes. It's sort of reminiscent of, like, one of the shuttles from before, and a cross between that and the Firebird. That's what it seems to look like. It's got a disc-like look to it. Now, the thing is, these were designed to go with the Megazord, unlike in Wave 1. So, while it's not as RPM-ish or Go-Anja-ish, it still looks a little more like a match for the Megazord itself. Now, the thing that I like doing here is to attach these onto the side, like so. And it perfectly matches the red Paleo Zord. And it's actually reminiscent of the dragon formation that was in the TV show, Go-Anja. It reminds us a little of that. It doesn't exactly look like it, though. It also adds a little more bulk to the Paleo Megazord. See, it's originally designed to go up here, but you can actually do it however which way you want. You can put it here, you can put it downwards, doesn't matter, your choice. But that's basically the function for it. Alright, so that's the bonus Zord that comes with your Paleo Max Megazord.
The RPM Micro Megazords may look tiny, but they pack a big alien-busting punch. You can morph them again, and again, and again, into enough power to totally destroy evil. Alien-busting RPM Micro Megazord sets, only from Bandai.